Hey guys, June's coming up, which means I've got 10 new books for you guys that are coming out this month that I'm super duper excited about. As you can tell, I also have a new background behind me. We changed our living room around. There just wasn't a whole lot of space, everything was just kind of clumped together. So we rearranged it, and now Bowser has more room to run around in the living room, and I'm next to the window so I can actually get some good lighting. So I'm really excited about that, and we'll see how it goes. Obviously it's pretty blank back there, but I'll try to get some stuff up to make it a little bit more interesting. So let's jump right in. Okay, book number 1 is Tidal by Amanda Hocking, and it's the third book in the Watersong series. It comes out on June 4th. And I've actually read all the books in the Watersong series, and I've read everything else by Amanda Hocking, and I really like her as an author, and I really like this series. I was really excited when it came out, and I'm still super excited for it to, keep going, but I don't want to give away any spoilers or anything, so I'll just say that it's basically about Gemma, Harper, and Daniel, and they're all trying to break a curse. I won't say what, but it's really, really good, and I definitely suggest checking the series out. Okay, book number 2 is True Lies, a Lion Game novella by Sarah Shepard, and it's the second prequel book to the Lion Game series. It comes out on June 4th, and I've read the entire Lion Game series so far. There's only one book left in it other than this novella, so I'm really, really excited to read it. It basically just tells of the events in the last few months leading up to Sutton's death. The whole series, we're not really sure what happens, and I don't assume we're going to get an answer in this either. It's only like 50 pages long or something, but it does give us a good insight from Sutton's point of view versus like her looking at Emma while Emma's doing everything. We kind of just get like an insight and stuff that we probably wouldn't learn if it had been in the other books, so I'm really excited to check it out. Book number 3 is Crushed by Sarah Shepard, and it's book number 13 in the Pretty Little Liars series. It comes out on June 4th. And I'm pretty sure this is the book that I'm most excited about this month. I absolutely love the Pretty Little Liars series. I've read every book. I didn't start reading them until last year. I borrowed them all from my friend, but I absolutely fell in love with them, and I think I read like the first 8 of them in like a month. I mean, just back to back as quick as I could. I just absolutely love them, and there's only 2 books left in the series. This one, and then Deadly, which comes out in December. And so I'm really, really excited. As far as I can tell for a synopsis for this, I won't give away any spoilers at all, but basically it takes place in the springtime of their senior year, and it's a few months after the cruise, which had been, or a few weeks after the cruise, which had been during spring break. So, you kind of go through prom and graduation, I'm assuming things like that. And then also we finally figure out what happened with Arya in Iceland. The last 2 books have been kind of hinting at something that had happened and how bad it was and all this stuff, but we have absolutely no clue. This book we finally figure it out. So I'm really excited to see what happens, and I'm just so excited for this series, and I'm just really excited for this book. Book number 4 is called Rules of Summer by Joanne Philbin, and it's a Rules of Summer series, book number 1. And it's basically about 2 17-year-old girls, Isabel and Rory, and they become, I guess, unlikely friends while spending a summer together on this beachfront mansion. And from what I can tell, one of them is kind of like the upstairs, and the other girl's like the downstairs tenant or something, I guess. I don't know. I think one of them is probably pretty rich and is actually staying at the mansion for the summer with her family, and the other one is, I think, like a servant's daughter or something. So you wouldn't really expect them to be friends, but somehow they do connect, and I'm really excited to check this one out. It just seems like a really fun read, so I'm excited. Book number 5 is Infamous by Lauren Conrad, and it's the 3rd book in the Fame Game trilogy. It comes out on June 11th, and I just really like Lauren Conrad as an author. I really liked the Candy series and now the Fame Game. I just thought they were really fun to read. She was in reality TV herself, so she kind of gives insight into this world that none of us would even think about, little things that happen and the way they control things and the storyline that I would have never thought of. And I just think it's super interesting. It's a really quick, fun to read book, and I'm just super excited to read this last book in the trilogy. Book number 6 is The Astronaut Wives Club by Lily Copel, and it comes out on June 11th. It basically follows the lives of the astronauts of the Mercury 7 crew. And this was like 50-some years ago or something, and at the time, astronauts were, considered like celebrities of the time, and these wives basically went from being everyday, ordinary housewives to like American royalty overnight. And they just kind of formed this club called the Astronaut Wives Club, and they just kind of stuck by each other, and they supported each other when they were in need, and it was just a good time for that. And here we are 50 years later, and they're still friends, and they're still there for each other. And I really like memoirs, especially like historical based ones. I read a bunch of those and stuff like last year, and I'm really just excited to check this one out. It's not something that I normally do read, so I'm excited to see how good it is. Book number 7 is Linked by Imogen Hosson, and it is part of the Link series. Book number 1 comes out on June 11th, and basically the main character Alyssa has been struggling with these weird visions and like mysterious bruises and phantom pains for the last 3 years, and she has no idea what's causing them. So one day she decides, I'm gonna go get surgery and I'm gonna stop these hallucinations, like I'm done with it. But the eve of the surgery, she finds out that what she's actually seeing is life in another girl's eyes. So yeah, obviously this is kind of weird, and she, stops the surgery and decides to follow these visions to see where they take her and to find this girl. And when she does, she figures out that this girl is actually her long-lost twin that she never knew about. So she, obviously is trying to connect with her twin, but at the same time, the government is hunting them down for whatever reason. So it sounds like a super good book. It's only book 1 in the series. I don't know how long it's supposed to be, but it sounds like a really good read, so I'm super excited. Book number 8 is Tarnished by Catherine Longshore, and it is book number 2 in the Royal Circle series. I have not read book 1 yet. I actually hadn't even heard of it until very recently, but this one is a young adult historical fiction, and it basically follows the life of Anne Boleyn as she is coming into King Henry's court. And I've always been really excited about this time in history, and kind of like the whole King Henry and Anne Boleyn and Mary and Elizabeth type of deal. I've been super excited and all that stuff for a long time. I just heard about this series when I was looking at books that are coming out in June, so I'm really excited to check it out. It comes out June 18th, and it should be really good. I heard really good things about the first one, so super excited for this. Book number 9 is Starcursed by Jessica Spotswood, and it is book number 2 in the Cahill Witch Chronicles. Once again, I have not read the series before, but it had been on my to-read list for a while. I just hadn't got around to it yet. But with this book coming out this month, I very well may start reading it. It's more so like a paranormal romance, obviously based on witches. And so I'm super excited to check it out. It comes out June 18th. Super excited. Last but not least is book number 10, which is The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I've actually never read a book by him before. I believe he is like a local Minnesota author as well. I think like up in Duluth or something, but never really cared that much. I heard a lot of stuff about him, never really read a book by him, although it does seem like the type of stuff I would read, so I don't know why I never did. But this one comes out on June 18th, and it's basically told from the viewpoint of like the narrator. And 40 years ago, his like family lodger or something stole his car, and basically committed suicide in it. And it stirred up like a bunch of ancient powers and like dark creatures that are now roaming the earth. And of course, he's probably scared out of his mind. And there are 3 women that live at the end of the lane. And one's like super old, one's super young, and I'm assuming one's probably in between. I'm not really sure. But he basically relies on them to, I guess, stay alive. I don't know. It seems like a really dark book, but also super, super interesting. I'm excited to finally check it out and see how his writing is. I obviously own like 2 books by him, but I just haven't read them yet, but hopefully I will with this book coming out. So I'm super excited. Well, that is all the books that I have for you guys this month. Once again, super excited for this list of books coming out in June. A lot of them I've actually been following for a while, so I'm excited to finally read them. And a few of them are by people I'd never heard of, or series I'd never heard of, so I'm excited to read those as well. I actually just requested a bunch of books that came out last month from my library, and I'm going to be picking those up very soon. So I'm excited to finally read those. As always, if you like this video, make sure to give it a giant thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. And hopefully I'll have a new video for you guys coming out in the next week or so here. It's been really, really cloudy in Minnesota, like super rainy, super dreary, and like stormy. Not very good vlogging weather because since my couch is right next to my window, it like blocks half my face and it's super dark and it really sucks. But June's coming up and it's always super, super sunny and super, super warm. So probably will not have a problem with that at all. And also my pool in my apartment building will be set up soon, so I can actually film outside too, which will be a really, really nice change. But I guess that's it, and I will see you guys later. Bye!